Today's editor tutorial is going to go over how to make sure you make your computer and enemy controlled AI units look like they're kiting, like they're fighting back and forth and microwing instead of just running into a grindstone. It's going to look something like this by the time that we're all done. Notice how this wolf is moving. It's moving. It's moving. My hands aren't on the keyboard or on the mouse. You can see the mouse in the bottom right. It's going to attack, retreat, attack, retreat. And this, for you, if you don't know about this, this is kiting, and this very powerful technique can make your units seem alive and seem more threatening than they are, and we're going to go over that in this tutorial. The first thing that needs to be explained is a concept called attack priority. That is, when units see an enemy unit in range that they can attack, they choose to go after the units or buildings that have the highest attack priority. So these three buildings right here serve that purpose. Prio Ward 2, and Prio Ward 3 are all copies of the basic healing ward. They have their hit points increased substantially, and they also have no lifetime and obviously no healing regeneration powers associated with them. If we go into the data section, you can see for each of these that they have an adjusted attack priority. So Prio Ward 1 has an attack priority of 1, Prio Ward 2 has an attack priority of 2, and then finally 3 for the third ward. Now, if we look over here on the left, we see that this new wolf's den is spawning a new wolf. This new wolf is just a copy of the old wolf, but notice that it's not spawning all the way over here, nor is it spawning here or anywhere like that. No trick of the editor here. It's spawning right here, and this training of our new wolf unit is a spawn with a move make unit command. So when this wolf spawns, it will see in range. I've changed its vision to be 10. It'll see at about a distance roughly this wide. It will see the Prio Ward. It will go to attack the Prio Ward. It still sees the Prio Ward. It still sees the... Oh, wait a second. It's now in vision about here to see the second Prio Ward. Because this Prio Ward 2 has a bigger attack priority, it has a priority of 2 as it turns out, than Prio Ward 1, our wolf will move over to Prio Ward 2 and it will repeat this trend. It gets to the melee zone to attack, and oh wait, it sees Prio Ward 3 with an attack priority of 3, and then all the way at the end, by default, units have, I believe, attack priority 6 or 8, depending on what they're hard-coded to have. This soldier has an attack priority of 6, so 1 is less than 2, is less than 3, is less than 6, and so the wolf that only spawns in this location moves forward. We're going to go over that again, just so you can see it in action. So we have changed this wolf to spawn in 1 second and take up only 1 gold so that we don't have a flood of them showing out. And you can see in its vision, it sees this first ward. It starts moving towards the first ward. Okay. It gets into melee range, and now it sees the second ward. It moves past the first ward towards the second one. Wait, it sees the third one. It moves forward. It's going towards this one, but now that the soldier is in range, it moves to attack the soldier. This is where things get a little strange. This is where our kiting actually happens. And why, for that matter, do we even spawn the wolf out of this new wolf's den in the first place? Well, that's the next part of this tutorial. Notice how this wolf is attacking and then running away. That makes very little sense. It's very hard to parse why. But it all comes back to this building that we created all the way over here on the left-hand side. Notice where the rally point is for this building. It is, and I'm zooming in so you can see it a bit more clearly, it is here. It is here, and in this any units built out of this building spawn with a move. So the wolf spawns, and it's trying to get to this location. So what happens here is that when the wolf attacks, what you don't see behind the scenes is that we have slightly modified new wolf to be more than just a basic wolf. It has a modifier that it applies to itself. For those of you who haven't used modifier self, it says, modifiers this unit applies to itself when attacking other units. So it applies retreat modifier. So let's go to modifiers and look up this retreat modifier. Retreat modifier says as follows. It lasts 1.05 seconds. It only has 1 maximum stack, so only 1 instance of this modifier can be applied at a time. And it disables the command of attack and A move. So this is very curious, but this is very powerful to know. If a unit is spawned with A move, it will attempt to move to the spot where it was spawned. If it sees anything to attack in the way, it will move forward according to attack priority. That's how we got it all the way over here. However, if a unit that has been spawned with a move doesn't have the ability to attack anymore or sees no valid targets in sight, it will try to return to the point at which it was supposed to spawn initially. And we can go ahead and demonstrate that in short order. But here's what we've got. The wolf spawns. It goes all the way over to the right. Then it has this effect. When it attacks the soldier, it disables its attack and attack move commands for 1 second. Because the wolf, and we'll go over this so that you can see it, it moves forward. This makes sense. This is nothing new. We've already covered that. Now it's going to go ahead and it's going to attack the soldier. It attacks, no problem. On attack, it applies this modifier. This modifier has the wolf kites. You may notice that we don't have an attack ability. And if you can see it, we also don't have an attack move ability. So the wolf turns around to try and return to its spawn point. However, this modifier only lasts 1.05 seconds. As soon as the modifier falls off, the wolf attempts to attack again because there is a thing with attack priority 6 right next to it that it can acquire as an attack target. But on attacking, it loses that modifier and then runs away. And it just repeats this process over and over. So now all of a sudden, seemingly inexplicably, we have a wolf that is kiting this soldier back and forth, not taking as much damage as it necessarily has to. We can see the truth of that all the way here. Once this soldier is dead, the only thing in range is this attack priority 1 building. The attack priority 6 soldier has died. The wolf moves forward. It catches the attack priority 2. And then, just to reveal all of the things behind the curtain, we will see the wolf attempt to attack this attack priority 3 building right here. It continues to do so. And then on attack, again, it has this modifier to make it retreat. And this wolf will continue to bounce back and forth between this third totem and this spawn point infinitely. And as the final nail in the coffin for this tutorial, if you truly don't believe that I'm not using a mouse, or I don't have a second monitor, or if I don't have a second keyboard, etc., we're going to go to Units, New Wolf. We're going to remove Controllable. Controllable says, if this is false, the unit cannot be controlled by the player. And in fact, we'll go one further. We're going to remove Controllable from New Wolf's Den. We're going to move up until we find it. There we go. Controllable. All right, I can no longer control, even with mouse clicks, where this spawn point is, nor can I move the wolf or make it do anything I want. And that is with my desired intention to make it do something different. And yet here we are. We have a kiting wolf, and you can use this either on attack or as a castable spell that the unit puts on itself at a certain threshold. So for instance, at a certain mana or a hit point threshold. And you can make these exact same kiting wolves in any of your mods. So that's it. That's kiting tutorial. Let's see what you can come up with using it.